Hello and welcome back to Saints Live, where Southampton have earned a 1-1 draw away to Everton at Goodison Park. Now make sure you do get your comments into us. Kenzie will be reading those throughout the post-match show. But it's time to welcome Dean Hammond and Adam Leitch back into the fold. How are you doing, chaps? Take that as good. We'll start with your overall kind of reaction to the game. Dean, we'll go to you first. What did you make of the match?
I think they might be struggling to hear us a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think we've got a possible connection issue there. It's always fun when you're working on Zoom, isn't it? Let's take a look at what's being said on socials. I do have quite a few comments here to read you guys at home. Anthony Evans has left us a comment. He said, should have put it to bed in the first half, but a point is acceptable. Robert Sharp's also got in touch. He's watching on YouTube. Hello to you. He says, another good performance from Walker Peters. Daddy Lockdown on YouTube, what a name that is. He said, I said before the match I would take a point after that exhausting City game. I felt it could have been 3 points, but not bad overall. You could see Saints' second half looked tired. Carl Bridges joining us. Good evening. He's on YouTube. He says, we struggled with their change of formation, but we look like a really good side now, pinging the ball about all over the place in the first half. And another comment here from the Saints #1 on YouTube. Hello. He says, 1 point better than none, but we should have won. Yeah, a really interesting point there. You know, we did earn a point, but I think we were the better team, really.
Yeah, that first half was excellent, I think, for me. I think the team showed a lot of character and grit and determination, and all over Everton, I think, for the majority of the first half. But obviously Everton got back into it with a superb ball and a great finish from Richarlison.
Well, let's try and bring Dean and Adam back into the mix. No, we're not going to try because they're not back with us just yet. Yeah, they were unfortunate really not to walk away with the win because, as you said, it did look, particularly in that first half, that we were the more dominant side. Whilst we are trying to get Dean and Adam back into the mix, please do keep those comments coming into us. We'll do our best to read through as many of those as we can throughout the post-match show. And you can see on your screens at the moment a list of our next encounters. Next week, of course, is a very busy week.
Packed.
3 matches in just 7 days. You can see them there. Manchester United on Monday. We've got Brighton at home on Thursday. And then we finish the week with a little South Coast derby, Steve. We head to Bournemouth to take on the Cherries. There's going to be some squad rotation there for sure. We're definitely going to be seeing Ralph shuffling the pack because that's a lot of games coming thick and fast, isn't it?
It's a lot of fixtures in a short space of time, and you can see he's trying to put more young players into the fold too. Will Smallbone came on for a short cameo at the end there, so it wouldn't surprise me if he does start rotating around. But you can see the form as well of the side since the restart. 3 wins, 1 loss, which was against Arsenal, and then the draw tonight is still really positive off the back of that break.
Absolutely, yes, some fantastic results there. And again, need we mention Manchester City? What a result that was. Fans certainly very pleased with that result. I'm getting a nod, I think, from our producer to say that Dean and Adam should be back with us. So let's try and bring them back into the fold. Sorry about that slight little glitch there, guys. It's always going to happen at some point, isn't it, when we're live and using Zoom? But great to see you back with us. Dean, we'll come to you first for a little initial reaction on tonight's game.
Excellent performance first half. Really dominated the game, possession-wise, progressive possession, chances created. I think the front 4 were exceptional. Following on from Man City, their movement, their combination play, the 1-2 touch passes, their weight of pass and appreciation of pass for each other. It wasn't selfish. It was really good team ethics, trying to slide each other in, trying to create opportunities for each other. And I mean, Danny Ings looks like one of the best strikers in the league at the moment. He looks so confident, so happy. Shay Adams had a part, and I was really impressed with Armstrong tonight. His distribution, his movement, and he seems like he's understanding the role more as a kind of narrow number 10 or a wise player. But then 4 up front were exceptional, and you know, Everton got better as the game went on. Southampton had chances. Everton scored a goal where fantastic pass and a really good finish. There's not a lot you can do about that. Southampton were caught out of position a little bit from an attacking sense. But, you know, second half, pretty even game. more possession-wise, not many chances, but first half performance by Southampton, I thought was exceptional.
Yeah, there were penalty appeals in the first half of both teams. Southampton's was awarded, Everton's wasn't. Adam, what did you make of those?
To be honest, I think they were probably correct decisions. I'm not the biggest fan of Lee Mason as a ref, I must admit, but I think he probably got those two about right. I mean, neither of them were like, you would look at Ever and say 100% penalty under every circumstance, nailed on. But I think, overall on the balance, I think it was the correct decision. I suppose the biggest focus is on the one Saints got. And it was just a bit clumsy, wasn't it, from Gomez? It was just a little bit reckless the way he sort of hung his leg out. And Prowsey, it wasn't a bad foul, but Prowsey kind of, I think, knew what he was doing. When it's a modern day Premier League football, that's how these things go, and you can't afford to make those sort of errors. And it was an error of judgment from Gomez. And I think that probably on balance, I think those two decisions were correct.
Well, Prowsey couldn't quite convert from the penalty spot. We really did deserve to be leading from that point. Do you think that James will have Danny Ings in his ear now to kind of be the main penalty taker, so to speak, Dean?
I'm sure he will. I'm sure Danny Ings will put himself forward for the penalties, especially because he's chasing the golden boot. But James Ward-Prowse, his set-piece delivery, his set-piece quality is, second to none probably in the Premier League. And he's very confident from free kicks, corners, and I would have thought from penalties as well. So he hit the penalty well. He sent the keeper the wrong way. It was just a little bit high. But yeah, I mean, I would always want my striker, my top striker, my talisman to take the penalties, pretty much like Ricky Lambert. And I'm sure Danny Ings will be volunteering for that role. So it'd be interesting to see. But I know James Ward-Prowse is a confident player. He's captain of the football club now. He'll want to continue that. And let's see what happens. But I thought Prowsey had another good performance today. He really led by example. One thing that impressed me about him today was his distribution of his pass, his awareness. He kept switching play. He slipped Danny Ings in a couple of times, and he had a really effective game. So, yes, he missed a penalty, but I thought that he played very well for the team today.
Danny might not have been able to take the penalty, but he did pop up again with another goal, his 19th of the Premier League season so far. Adam, nice bit of footwork from Ings. What did you make of that goal all round?
Yeah, it was silky footwork. It was like he was ready for Strictly Come Dancing or something, being able to move like that. It was absolutely remarkable, really. I mean, it was a great, kind of a great run, really, to get into that position. And you'd call it anticipation. I mean, there was obviously an element of fortune. It was, I don't think Stu Armstrong will claim that was a visionary through ball that he played. It was obviously a scuffed shot. But Ings has got himself in a dangerous position already to try and anticipate a follow-up if the ball comes off the goalkeeper from Armstrong's shot. And what a quick reaction. I mean, just amazing to be able to get it out of his feet, get it past Pickford, and then be able to dive in and slot it home. Incredible close control and under quite a lot of pressure in a moment like that to try and execute it. Even if you've got quick feet in training, being able to pull it off in a scenario like that when you know there's a goal waiting for you, it's hard to do. But I mean, that's just a mark of Ings at the moment, isn't it? I mean, it's a goal that you say it's got a confident player written all over it, because you can't pull that off if you're on poor form or you're doubting yourself. You're one split second too slow to get that ball shifted, and Everton have closed that out, and and probably nobody would think any more of it. But when you're confident and you've got the kind of ability that Ings has got, those are the sort of things that you can pull off. And I mean, it was a bit of fortune to get the ball in a way, but just tremendous skill. And I think that he earned the goal. He earned the right to score that from a fantastic piece of play. And yeah, I mean, it's just, we could talk about Danny Ings probably all night and all pre-match and all post-match show, till the end of the season, because his form is just fantastic, and he just looks so happy, so confident, and that goal, really, the manner in which he took it, really summed that up, I think.
Yeah, it really was fantastic play once again from Ings, as you say. But unfortunately, Dean, it didn't take too long for Everton to equalise. It was great play from Richarlison. And to be fair to McCarthy, there wasn't too much he really could have done with that. Back to you in just a minute once we've resolved that.
No, it was a good goal by everybody.
So I think we're gonna take a look at what's going on socials. All sorts of funny things going on, Steve, in my ears.
It had to happen at some point, didn't it?
It did. It's all been too plain sailing up until this point. But a perfect time to bring in you guys at home and hear what you guys have been saying. Now, the Saints #1 on YouTube has left us a comment. He said 1 point is better than none, but we really should have won. Yeah, kind of echoing the thoughts of both Dean and Adam there. Mark Humble on YouTube said a point's a point, but should have had a bag full in the first half. Yeah, it would have been nice to see a few more goals. Paul Watson on Facebook said, if we can keep this squad together for next season, I predict a top 6 finish. Congratulations, lads. So certainly putting a lot of confidence into the team for next year. Lots of people saying that, looking for a high finish next season, Steve.
Yeah.
David on Facebook has said 2 points lost. That said, lads look a good unit together. Onwards and upwards for when the new season starts. So lots of comments kind of feeling very optimistic about going into the new season whenever that does start up again. Tormod on Facebook, hope I'm saying that correctly. He said, love to watch the game today. Just awesome to see the spirit, even when we didn't have anything to play for. Got that winning mentality for next season. Let's go through a few more, shall we? Liam on YouTube has said this season has been nothing short of a miracle considering where we were only 6 months ago. And a final one for now here from Colin on Facebook. He said good result and a performance, looking forward to the Manchester United game. Right, I think we've sorted our little technical issue there, so let's try and bring Dean back in now. Dean, you started speaking, but we just couldn't hear you. Let's give that another go, shall we? Where were you?
I was just saying, sometimes you just have to appreciate it's a good goal. It's an excellent pass from the left back. Richarlison makes a good run. It was probably the first time that he probably tried to run in behind and split the defence. Excellent touch, excellent finish. The only criticism you could potentially have is that the Southampton fullbacks were a little bit high, but it came from Southampton being on the front foot, attacking, trying to create opportunities. Everton won the ball back, got in a good position, and a fantastic pass to split the defence and a really good finish. So things like that are going to happen in the Premier League. You're playing against quality players, and when they get the opportunity, sometimes a player like Richardson only needs one chance, and it was a really, really good finish.
Yeah, so a really positive first half. Moving on to the second half. Adam, one of the talking points, or probably the main talking point of the second half, was Bednarek's yellow card and the free kick that was awarded. He seemed to have got the ball. There was then a VAR check to see if it was going to be a red card. What needs to be looked at? Because it seems quite confusing for fans to understand. If he's won the ball, why is the free kick then not rescinded, or the yellow card not rescinded?
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? You almost end up having to draw your own conclusions, don't you, really? And you kind of, your first instinct is when you see the challenge made and the referee blow his whistle, that's going to be a red card. Then the red card doesn't get given, which seems a little curious given the position. If the referee thinks that was genuinely a foul, you kind of think probably he would send him off. Then it goes to VAR, and you sort of see the angle that Richarlison's at, and you think, well, if they think that Bednarek has fouled him, that they are definitely going to upgrade this to a red card because clearly a goal-scoring opportunity. And then VAR comes back and keeps with the yellow card, which suggests that what VAR have actually thought is that it wasn't a foul at all and that he got the ball, because otherwise they would have upgraded it to a red card, I think, had they thought it was a foul. But then they can't rescind it on the pitch and not give the free kick and the yellow card. So it's a very strange situation if that's kind of the predicament that you get yourself in. But I guess I don't off the top of my head know really how you solve all of these problems unless you bring video evidence in for kind of every debatable decision, which is probably not practical. But it's a slightly strange situation, and I think at least we can kind of draw conclusions at the moment when we're all sat, everybody's having to watch on their TVs at home, and you can see the replays and you can think through what's happened yourself and have the commentators. If you were in the ground though, if you were a spectator in the ground, had the stadiums been open today, I think you would have been absolutely baffled by what had taken place until you got home and actually got a proper chance to inspect it all yourself. And I think that's a problem for VAR, and it's one of a number of issues that definitely needs to be addressed, because you can't really just have people not knowing what's going on, and it's hard to also, when you've opened you've got the genie out of the bottle of having technology for some decisions, then it looks ridiculous when you go to technology and you don't use it for other decisions. You don't use it to reverse incorrect decisions because it's a certain moment of play rather than a different moment of play. So I think all of that needs to be addressed, but as VAR evolves in the Premier League.
Well, Dean, just briefly before we say our goodbyes, we've got 3 games coming up in quick succession. What will Ralph take from today's performance going into next week's busy period?
Another excellent performance, more improvement again from the team. The attacking threat's getting stronger and stronger. The understanding of the shapes becoming more evident. I liked Armstrong's performance today. I think he's understanding his role more. Walker-Peters looked excellent again, really, really good, attacking from the right flank, really progressive in his play, defensively looks strong, so he's getting more and more mature. So only positives, really. The team lost a little bit of penetration second half, but Everton got better. But the first half an hour, 40 minutes of that game, Southampton were in pure control, and they were playing away against Everton, who are a big team in the Premier League. So, major things are taken for that game. It's another good point. It's 10 points, I think, from the restart now. So it's been a really good mini season for Southampton.
Well, yeah, it seems that the fans at home are certainly echoing those thoughts. Ian's got in touch and he said take a point at Goodison all day long. We spoke pre-match about the fact that Goodison Park is a bit of a bogey ground for us, so a point we'll take certainly. Ian Stacey on Facebook, thank you for that comment. Doug said also on Facebook, look much more solid now. Good point gained. Paul on Facebook as well has said should have had that wrapped up by half time, but we'll take the point. So very similar comments coming through here. Maurice has said Prowsey should stick to free kicks, leave the pens for Ings. Well, that's something Danny will probably speak with James about now. And Matt James has also got in touch. Hello to you. He said brilliant first 40 minutes, pressed so well, and our passing was phenomenal. The difference from when we played them before was excellent. Still probably tired from the City win. We march on. Well, speaking of marching on, Steve, we have a very busy week coming up next week, and we kick that off with a trip to Old Trafford on Monday. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff, and we'll be back once again here on Saints Live pre and post match. We will of course be joined once again by both Dean and Adam. But gents, thank you ever so much for your company once again. A couple of technical issues there, but another great show, and we'll see you for a rather jam-packed week next week. But for now, everyone watching, thanks to the fans getting in touch. Steve will be back on Monday. We hope to see as many of you then as possible. Take care.